spring is almost sprung. It's a beautiful day. I was just spent 2 days working on a garden, which I now think is looking pretty good. Now, a couple of the plants in that garden exemplified one of the problems that I see all over the place. It's not uncommon. If you've done this, it's fine. And that's people buying plants and putting them in the wrong spot. Now, if a plant needs full sun, that means it can deal with the hot afternoon sun. If it's part shade, it's kind of okay in the morning sun, but don't put it in that hot late spring summer sun or it won't do well. I saw today a camellia and it was looking pretty anemic and pretty unhappy. It was hating life. The client asked me why, and they said, is it a mineral deficiency? We're not feeding it enough NL. Well, actually it was pretty clear to me that that plant was in the wrong place. It was exposed fully to a northwest wind and full sun. It was hating it, it was struggling. That plant is no longer in that garden. So just as an example, so if you go to the garden centre and they say, oh yeah, and you look at a plant and think, yeah, gee, that one looks beautiful, look at that, it's got beautiful red flowers, I'm going to take that home. Find out a little bit about it before you do take it home. Figure out the best place to put it so you're giving it the best chance of success in its life. For example, this one, Pamelia prostrata, this is New Zealand Daphne. It does pretty well in poor soils, but it has to be reasonably dry. If it gets wet feet, it's going to hate its life. I'm going to pair it up with this, Piccastegia minor. It's a small leaf form of the Marlborough rock daisy. Don't they look good together? Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about design in a subsequent video, but again, my key message today, put the plant in the place where it's going to have the best chance of survival. Okay, just wanted to talk to you some more about putting the right plant in the right spot to give it the best chance of survival. Look at this beauty. This is a New Zealand native, Metrosideros carmenea. Now, it's a climbing rata. Pretty soon it's going to have these beautiful Pahudakawa type flowers. I'm trying to get it to climb up this tree fern which is next to it, and I'm pretty excited about the prospect of that show of flowers towards the, kind of starting I think around about the start of spring. It won't be too far away. Now, native plants, they grow well in native soils. So, provided the soil's sort of okay and the drainage is sort of okay, you can pretty much dig a hole, plonk a native in it, and it'll do alright. This plant likes shady conditions, it's in a shady spot. Okay, now if we just look over down here at this magnificent specimen, okay, this is a hookera, or Tochera, however you want to say it. Now, it should be kind of about that big. When I bought it in the garden centre, it looked magnificent. Looking at it in my garden, it's not. That's because it's had weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of rain. It's hated it, and it's kind of died back more than expanded out. And I expect there's going to be new growth into the spring. It will do well, and it should regain its colour and look okay. But again, this is kind of an experimental garden for me. I'm checking things out, see if they work or if they don't work, learning about the plants so that I can then apply that learning and experience into my clients' gardens. Last thing to say, dig a proper hole. There's plenty of videos on the internet about digging a hole to plant a tree in. I usually, if it's an exotic species, I usually put a couple of decent handfuls of compost in, rough handful or half a handful of blood and bone, mix it up with the soil, plant the tree on, plant the plant on top of it. With natives, I hardly bother. Give them a little bit of blood and bone, they're pretty happy as they are. Right plant, right place.